Chips are nice little UI components that we can utilize to offer to the user quick actions or offer some suggestions. They are part of the material design library, and in this video we are going to explore how we can work with them. Before we look into the code, I'm working on a very exciting project that will help so many junior and mid-level Android developers land a promotion or get a six-figure salary role depending on the market they are targeting. If that excites you, check out the links below this video. This is what we are going to look at. Here I have a pretty long list of cities that are located in different continents. On the top side, I have list of those continents and they are represented with chips. Now by clicking on one of the chips, I am filtering the list so that it shows only the cities that are located in that particular continent. As we may observe, selecting one chip unselects the previously selected one, and if I tap on the one that is selected, it unselects it. Obviously we can achieve this with custom UI components, but we have the chips for this and we can utilize them. Let's see how I'm using them here. Back in the code I have a preview that manipulates a state, but I'm not going to elaborate much on that. You can find link to the code in the description below, you can explore it on your own. So we're going to focus on the screen itself. The screen takes in state and it exposes a callback on filter updated, which tells us what's the new one. Inside of the screen I have a scaffold, and inside the scaffold I have a column. The parent column has a lazy row inside which gets selected on the right side in the preview, and then a lazy column that contains the list of the cities. Inside the lazy column I am passing modifier, content padding and vertical arrangement to add some spacing between the items. And as of the items, I'm taking each and every city and then I'm using list item to render each individual city. It's important here to mention that I'm applying modifier animate item so that it animates the list changes automatically when I make a selection of a filter. Then I have a headline, which is the city name, and a supporting content, which is the city continent. Finally, let's look into the lazy row. The lazy row also takes in modifier, horizontal arrangement to add some spacing between the chips, and then content padding. It's always recommended to use content padding for the lazy containers so that the scrolling goes edge to edge. If we pay attention here in the emulator, these chips are going edge to edge. This Asia, for example, is getting just underneath, but if I scroll all the way till the end, it adds nice little padding on the side, and that is achievable with a content padding property. Now inside I'm taking all the items which are coming from the state, and then for each and every filter I'm applying filter chip. Now there are several options, I have listed them here in the comments as well. We have input chip, assist chip, suggestion chip, and filter chip. If we pay attention to the API, the mandatory items to be supplied for the suggestion chip and assist chip are only on click and label. Now these ones are used most for offering some suggestions to the user, maybe some quick actions that the user can take, and so on and so forth. The input chip is mostly used to represent some user input. For example, if the user is applying some tags or maybe some comma separated values, we can show them in a chip. And most often in these kind of chips we are adding an X section inside that allows the user to remove them from the particular list where they are added, and so on and so forth. The filter chip is similar to the input chip. It also takes in selected as a required argument. Then we have on click and a label. Now those are all the mandatory arguments, but if we explore the API we will notice that we can supply pretty much a lot of arguments here. We can apply leading icon, trailing icon. We can define the shape, the border, elevation, many other things to make the chip look the way we want. And all of these chips are actually offering the same API so that we can customize them and tune them in a way that works for us. In summary, the chips are nice UI components that are oftentimes underutilized in code bases that I have access to because people tend to create their own components. Now, both options are valid, but instead of creating something custom on your own, this is an API that you can use out of the box. Now, that's it. I hope you find it helpful, and I'll catch you in the next video.